Today I'm going to talk about the 11s board class. In this class there are 4 methods, and each method is crucial to playing the 11s game. The first method is called is legal, and what this is pretty much just saying if the card you choose is a legal move to play. It has 2 if statements. The first one is if the selected card size equals 2, that just means if the player selects 2 cards, then it will return contains pairs sum 11. What all this does is it will go later if this returns true and check if these cards add up to 11 when you select 2. And the next is if 2 isn't selected, it checks if 3 are selected. And if 3 are selected later, first it returns contains JQK, which just means if it returns Jack, Queen, King, which is going to later be tested to see if the 3 cards are in fact a Jack, Queen, and King. And then if neither of these 2 if statements are true, it will return false. The next method is called another play is possible, and what this method does is determines if any more moves can be made. And the index is a representation of the card deck, and the method then runs to see if there are any possible combinations equal to 11 or JQK. And if the method runs to completion, then the Boolean is determined to be true. As you can see, there's an if statement here that says contains pair sum 11, and it checks the indexes. And what this exclamation point means is that it does not contain these. And then if that is true, then it returns contains JQK, which will also check to see if that's true with the indexes. And if neither of those are true, it returns true for another play as possible. The third method is contains pair sum 11. It checks to see if the index card selected is equal to 2. First, right here, if selected cards dot size is less than 2, then return false, because this is just going to be run after the other program says that the sum is 11, which just means that there are 2 cards selected. And if for some reason that this does not happen, it will return false. That's just an extra check in this step. And what these 2 for statements do is they count up and find the subset from the select deck cards or selected cards to determine if the cards are equal to 11. And right here it says if card at selected position I, right here, point value plus the card at this position J equals 11, return true. And if none of this is true, it will go down here and return false, which means that the cards that you selected are not in fact 11. Here is the final method, the fourth method. It is very similar to the method above, but this will be run after the other method says that it contains JQK, and this is just going to check if these 3 cards selected are in fact a Jack, Queen, or King. First, it will set all of the Booleans to false, has Jack, has Queen, has King. And like the other method above, it checks if the size is less than 3, and if that's true, then it will immediately return false. That's just an extra check, just to make sure that the method is in the correct place. And right here, the method then runs to check each index if they contain a Jack, Queen, or King, and sets the Booleans to true if they are. As we see, there are 3 if statements, or 1 if, 2 else ifs. And it just checks if the card at the position is a Jack, the next card is a Queen, as you can see, I++, so it goes through all 3 of them. And then once it comes to the end, it says return has Jack and has Queen and has King. That just means that if all 3 of these Booleans are true, then it will return true, which means that it is in fact a fair move. And these are the 4 methods that pretty much make up the entire program of 11's board. They're very crucial, and that's how it runs.